Hello everybody, welcome to another review. So I'm going to be reviewing a brand new debut record from Paledusk, a very experimental metalcore band from Japan. So I've actually been able to see Paledusk, at least I got to see a few songs of theirs when they supported Polaris on the UK Europe tour, or at least I think it was just the UK, as well as also having Silent Planet and Thornhill be the other support acts. So Paledusk, yeah, honestly, I'm quite surprised it's taken them this long to do a debut album, because they've been dropping EPs every couple of years. They dropped an EP last year called PALEHELL with that track, but they actually decided to take some of the songs from PALEHELL and as well as some singles they've pretty much released and just dropped this new album. I didn't actually anticipate this album was coming out. So this was kind of a shock, so I decided, I'll hop onto that because I like a bit of Paledusk and I wanted to see how their debut held up. So honestly, the most interesting thing about them, as I said, they're quite experimental. They've got some progressive metalcore features. They've got some aspects of new metalcore as well. They kind of basically take metalcore as like kind of a standard sound and just go into all areas with it. Trancecore, new metalcore, prog metalcore. They've pretty much done a lot of stuff in that. And matter of fact, with each song, you're not really getting the same experience either. There's a lot of genres they dabble with this. Sometimes it can go into kind of a bit more of a pop fest. Sometimes you can just get some really good, pretty cool heavy moments, some kind of classic hard rock feel. They generally just play with a lot of cool ideas here. Some interesting features as well. One of my personal favourites is they got Masato from Coldrain, another metalcore band, or more post-hardcore metalcore, I believe, from Japan, that I've actually listened to for quite a bit, so it's nice to see them collab on this. Some really interesting stuff. I think the only thing that kind of doesn't quite reel me in is the more progressive type songs. Sometimes they'll have elements where they go into a bit more of the instrumentation, and I kind of feel like it loses a bit of the charm as it goes in. I like the spontaneous, just chaotic energy. So when it kind of goes chaotic and calms down, I don't think it quite works the way that Paledusk wanted it to, in my opinion at least. I think it's personally just more preference. I think I just kind of expected more of a party, and with PALEHELL it was just throwing these songs left and right in just such an amazing way. But I found this was kind of a bit of an issue I had with songs like No Way, which I do enjoy, but it's definitely not as strong as some of the other tracks we have. The second half is just generally all pretty good, and it follows the first half, which all is good. Some of my highlights of this record, PALEHELL, I've always enjoyed this one as a track from the PALEHELL EP. Hugs is the pretty big one from Paledusk, and I think this one's quite good as well. I think some of the choruses aren't quite as strong, but they're kind of like silly, goofy, fun energy to add. Like I Heart You Baby certainly isn't anything to write home about, but it still brings the kind of fun feel of it. Even the theme song, #1 Paledusk opening track, more of an intro interlude one, it's just got this cool energy to it. It just feels like you're really diving into just this fest of cool ideas. I like how they can kind of bring the melodies out and then just kind of go into just blitzing in some classic progressive metalcore energy to it. It's not the most interesting project out there, but as a debut, I think Paledusk generally has a sound that works for them. I think this works quite well, and while I don't think there really is any absolute amazing songs on here, I feel like it's consistent enough to be an enjoyable listen to kind of tune in back into every now and then, and I think that's generally a good sign of a debut record. Not every band hits it straight away on debut, but the band has been experimenting, trying to find the kind of perfect sound to continue making EPs before they can actually sell on it on the debut. And yeah, here we go, we got a whole debut, and I think it's generally paid off quite well, this approach, considering it took almost 10 years since the first EP release. It's been almost 9 years from the first EP to the album release. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like the concept of that. I haven't really got much else to say than that. I think it's just kind of, it has got some weaker melodies at some point. I don't think the songwriting is the strongest, but I love the way that its chaotic energy is there. It's more of just a fun album rather than just a more well crafted, like perfect masterpiece, and I think that's kind of like how I felt with Avrilize and Liminal. Like, they're both great albums, I just don't think they quite push the ante of like using the full potential of it. But, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I think this is definitely a fun album, and quite a surprise that this one even existed, because I thought we would probably be getting another EP in like a few years. So that's all I have to say. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. I quite enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next video.